how's it going? Welcome again to my YouTube channel. It's kind of weird for me still to be like YouTube channel. Yarel here, and I'm so happy that my friend is joining me today, Miss Jessica Molina. You guys can find her on all social media.
Yes, as at heyjessmolina, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited for our girl Yarel and for this channel and for all that she's doing. So
I was telling Jose, my producer, that I was so like weirded out about it. I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? Like, should I just do like I do in the newscast or just do like on Insta stories? So I'm trying to find that medium. But anyway, today I'm super happy because Jess and I have been friends for a while, and we're always try to be in tune with what's going on with the world. And as much as I want to make the YouTube channel about things that I do on the regular, things that are important to me, like makeup and skincare and all these other fun things, you know, I also really like to be aware of what's happening in our communities, in the world, with us, with women in this country. And Jess and I mean, if there's anything political or anything social, literally we're like, did you see that? Oh my god, that, text messaging each other, sending each other memes on Instagram. And we're actually working on a podcast as well.
Stay tuned.
About like this intersection of politics and pop culture, and how, you know, the world revolves and absorbs information. So today I wanted to just talk about something that's been going on with the world and space right now. And it's this whole idea of feminism, right? We talk about it a lot. I have so many feminism rocks, girls rock t-shirts, the future is female, but what does it really mean and what's going on? And it really kind of grabbed my attention even more this week. I don't know if you guys have heard, James Cameron, the director of a lot of these amazing movies, went out about criticizing Wonder Woman as like a backwards for feminism.
Right.
So that's kind of like where it all started for me. Like, wait, what is going on? You know, what's happening? What does it mean to people? What does it mean to you? And what is it creating and causing in women like ourselves, like you girls that are watching right now? So just, I mean, to you, what is feminism?
Feminism is equality of the sexes. Like, that's just as basic as it gets. And I think it drives me completely insane when people are like, well, that's one version of feminism, but there's this other version that's really aggressive. And I'm like, no, like, there's not another version. It's just as simple as can be. It's equality. And it's like, if you don't like equality, then you're just, I feel like somebody said it, like, if you're not for feminism, then you're just like an asshole. Like, that's like kind of like what it is. That's what it is. Sorry. Yes.
So I mean, it's funny because we talk about it. I mean, we as women that are just so strong and independent, we talk about it just so openly, right? And it's like, I've always been a feminist. Like, I believe in the equality for women in all sectors of everything, of society, of the way the world revolves and goes about with things. But something, and right now you mentioned that, and I think it was the director of Wonder Woman, right? Like, she came out saying something like, wait a minute, so women, you're criticizing women because they're either too strong or they're either too soft.
Right.
So it's like, no, women need to stay in their lane as like these feminine creatures that are just super motherly and soft. And what about this other area? Like, why can't we cross that line?
You know, I think it's really interesting because I feel like the feminist movement is sort of experiencing a facelift of sorts, where it's women who are saying a feminist doesn't look a certain way, right? So I love the slogan that I think has been revived recently by Belladonna, the brand, like, ni santas ni putas, solo mujeres. And like, that's so true. This idea of like, I can be sleeping in the streets and be a feminist, I can be at home making dinner for my man and I'm still a feminist. But like, we kind of are being put in this space where we have to choose. And that is just an injustice, and I feel like it's also a way of just holding us back and trying to pin women against each other so that we can't continue to elevate and climb the ladder that we're trying to climb.
And it's true because it happens so much with us, even with our careers, right? I mean, for me, it's always been a struggle as like a journalist, and I'm sure it happens to you too as a journalist that you are, that, oh, you gotta be this way, you've got to look a certain way, your hair has to be blonde, you gotta have really short hair, you can't wear that. Like, and it's like, wait a minute, what about like all these layers to myself? Like, I need to be boxed into this thing. And then now we add on the card of like feminism. Oh no, now you cannot really wear that. Like, I mean, the whole idea of like with Michelle Obama and like her arms, right? It's like, oh no, she's showing too much. Are you kidding me?
It's like so scary. scandalous
so
right now,
scandalous.
Yarel.
I'm so
scandalous. Yes.
And it's like, wait, what is that really? Are those really the conversations we have to have right now?
And unfortunately, I think that these conversations are actually like distracting. And I think that in some way, whether or not people are intending to do it or not, they are feeding into just keeping the women down because we are having these conversations with each other. You're even seeing it where other women start to attack other women. Like, I'm sorry, I don't take your brand of feminism. And it's like, why are we in that space? Why are we looking so much at our sister and trying to bring her down and trying to scrutinize her rather than saying like, what you're doing, I want to elevate and I want to be a part of that. Like, that to me is like the feminism that we should all be a part of, because unfortunately we do have then men speaking up for us. And James Cameron, no, thank you. Go back to Avatar. We've been waiting for freaking forever. Like,
get back to work,
right?
James.
Like, just stay in your lane, Papi. Like, we understand you've got an opinion, but sometimes we just don't need it. And that's where, like, less men need to be, I mean, actually, we need more men speaking out about feminism, but we need it in a way of, like, support and not them trying to understand what we want and what we need. Because I think that as women, we're still trying to come to a collective and a unified space.
Yeah.
And we don't need men muddling.
Stay in your lane, Papi, okay? Bye. Last thing to talk about. I love that you mentioned that because it is really, really important. I have experienced it so much lately where it's like this cattiness of women, because I think if we have a problem with men speaking out about this idea, right? Or standing up for us, it's coming from a space where we're actually on, like, literally trying to just sabotage each other because we're not even in that area of helping each other out. Like, it's like I see this all the time and it enrages me. Like, girls, like, be proud of who you are and like help your sister out. Like, for real, you don't need to be fighting with her. You don't need to be bringing her down. On the contrary, like, if Jess does something that is amazing, I'm gonna support her even if it's competing with something that I'm doing, because that's just what we're supposed to be doing, not allowing others to speak on our behalf and then us adding on to that conversation.
Right. So there's plenty of room at the table. Ladies, don't be afraid to let more women in there, and men, definitely let us have our seat because we belong to be at that table.
That's right. We're out. Something my aunts would say, but I can't buy what? Are we gonna just give her yellow clothes? And it's like, I mean, what?
Or blue.
Or
like,
blue.
You're wearing blue.
Or I mean, pink. Maybe he's gonna wear pink.
Right?
Like what?
Real men wear pink.
Exactly.